Welcome to Fox 33 News First at 9.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jenna Jordan. Alex has the night off. In tonight's top story, Texarkana, Texas police are searching for a man they say shot two people outside a restaurant, and they're asking for your help. They're looking for this man, 30-year-old Calvin Gardner. Officers say they arrived at Waffle House on North State Line Avenue early this morning to find two men with gunshot wounds. Both victims are recovering at the hospital. Gardner was last seen headed south on State Line Avenue in a white Lincoln Navigator. If you have any information about his location, call police. A store employee is in the spotlight tonight after his quick thinking stopped a purse snatcher in his tracks. NBC6's Dominique Dillon shares the young hero's story.
On the football field, you would never know 26-year-old Juwan Scott is autistic. He is fearless as he catches the ball, bobbing and weaving through defenders.
I always enjoy the sports every day.
So it was no surprise to people close to Juwan when they heard he tackled a man who stole a woman's purse while he was at work Thursday.
And I had to chase him, saying that's not right.
Once Juwan caught up with the culprit in this photo, the suspect punched and kicked him, but Juwan won the battle and saved the purse.
They can't just do easy way outs or just sneak or just take something, because it's just like a lazy, pathetic excuse for a thing.
In a Facebook post, the woman Juwan helped thanked him, calling him a hero.
He does help a lot of people over there at Brookshire's, and we've gotten a lot of accolades from him, from customers about him.
Satara Scott, Juwan's mom, says she's very proud of her son.
I'm just grateful to God that he made it through and that Miss Crystal got her purse back.
As for Juwan, he says he will continue being the best employee he can be and helping people in need.
The real man stands for what is right and never walk away from something that is something going wrong.
Dominique Dillon reporting.
And here's another look at that suspect. If you know who this is, call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. A reward is being offered. Continuing coverage, a health expert now says he agrees that a local man's health condition is the result of vaping. A Willis-Knighton pulmonary specialist says he strongly believes Scott Goldstein's use of e-cigarettes caused the injury. Goldstein says his lungs have crystallized after more than a decade of vaping. Several GoFundMe accounts have been set up to help Goldstein. Head to our website, arclatexhomepage.com, if you'd like to help. Meanwhile, the CDC is changing how it reports vaping-related illnesses. Based on the new standards, that makes a total of 380 confirmed and probable cases of severe lung illnesses linked to e-cigarettes in 36 states, and that includes Louisiana. 6 deaths have been reported. An update now in the case involving a murdered Barksdale airman. The widow of Tech Sergeant Joshua Kidd has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against 2 homeowners associations. The civil lawsuit filed by Alyssa Kidd claims a faulty fence could have allowed her husband's accused killers easy access to Green Acres Place neighborhood. She's suing the Green Acres Place Homeowners Association, the Carriage Quarters Condominium Association, and 2 insurance companies. The lawsuit does not say what Kidd seeks in damages. Jerona Crosby and Alonzo Wilson are accused of shooting and killing Kidd.
And now, your Fox First forecast with meteorologist Jesse Kelly.
All right, here's a look outside right now. We're looking at temperature this evening, still in the lower 90s. Today was a very hot afternoon. We're looking at partly cloudy skies to mostly clear skies right now, with a dew point into the middle 60s. Again, seeing a temperature of 91 degrees. Winds are light out of the east. Temperatures today were very hot indeed. We did see a high of 101 here in Shreveport. 101 Manning, 90s up towards the north across Texarkana, up towards Idabel, even into the Queen, and we'll see more of the same for your Sunday. Lots of hot conditions, not that much rain, and unfortunately that thing will continue for the next 7 days. Let you know how much hotter it's going to get and about those rain chances later in your full weather. Jenna, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jesse. In regional news, a 10-year-old's quick thinking helped save a Little Rock teacher's life. Susan L. Corey has the story.
No workbooks in this kindergarten class. Tell students what to do when their teacher almost stops breathing.
I didn't know how to ask for help because I couldn't talk.
Luckily, Kim Rosby didn't need to instruct Nivea Woods.
Her instincts just kicked in.
The 10-year-old knew just what to do.
My new buddy. Oh.
When the Little Rock teacher had an asthma attack.
My family is indebted to you.
Normally, Rosby wears this bag around Meadowcliff Elementary. an inhaler tucked inside.
This particular morning, I decided to lock my purse up in the car.
While trying to teach her 18 students, things took a turn.
It snuck up on me. It happened quickly.
Just so happens this 5th grader stopped by to volunteer, quickly noticing something was wrong.
She just started coughing and everything. And then she went to her desk and she couldn't talk.
I grabbed my keys and started shaking them.
And she handed me the keys and I went out there and got it.
Within a few minutes, Rosby says she was back on her feet, a sigh of relief that left her with one question.
How did you know that I needed my asthma pump?
I usually see her around carrying it in her purse.
That life-saving observation.
I have thanked her so much, and I've hugged her so much.
Leaving this class with a lesson that doesn't need repeating.
I was one of the blessed ones.
Hot this weekend, an annual music festival is hitting another high note. Thousands of folks filled Columbia Park today for the 16th annual Highland Jazz and Blues Festival. Musicians from Northwest Louisiana and across the country performed on 2 stages, filling the air with non-stop music. But the community event is about more than the music. There were also dozens of food and art vendors on site and a kids zone.
I love jazz. I love blues. That's my thing. I just love it. We just came out to be with family, enjoy the atmosphere, and get some good food.
Organizers say this free music festival is a gift to the community from the Highland Area Partnership. Tonight in Fox Education, dozens of parents are now better prepared to help their kids for the future. The Caddo Parish School Board hosted a back-to-school celebration today. This event allowed parents to connect with educational, community, and medical agencies. During the event, they also raffled off several prizes.
It's so important because we're trying to educate parents in order to help to educate their children so we can have a better community.
The next event will focus on preparing students for LEAP, and that's a state test. That event is scheduled for October 5th. And some junior journalists in Atlanta, Texas are now ready to report the news that matters to their classmates. I got the chance to share some tips with them yesterday when I visited with students selected to participate in Rabbit News Network, or RNN. Friday was the first newscast of the semester for the 4th and 5th graders. The news show is one of the activities students could select as a part of the school's BEST program, believing in every student's talent. Tonight in Fox Community, a $5.5 million project will help the Food Bank of Northwest Louisiana offer more services to the community. Fox 33's Markel Sinet shares a sneak peek.
The Food Bank of Northwest Louisiana has been in this same location on Texas Avenue for 20 years. In the 90s, the food bank started distributing 1 million pounds of food a year. Since then, distribution has grown to 1 million pounds of food a month.
We have clearly recognized that we cannot continue the type of growth that we've had in the same building.
This building was purchased in 2015 and is currently undergoing renovations. It will provide a 40,000 square foot warehouse and 6,000 square feet of office space.
And the primary reason, not just to provide more food to the folks that live in Northwest Louisiana, but healthy food. Healthy food is refrigerated food, and our new home will have 7 times the refrigerated and frozen capacity that we have at our current location.
Martha Merrick, the executive director, is working to ensure the food bank doesn't incur any debt and only has $900,000 more to go to reach their fundraising goal.
We really feel like there's someone out there that's going to help us reach our goal.
She's hoping a group or family can make a large donation and have the new facility named after them.
Hunger is something that a lot of people either forget about or maybe remember at certain times, and everyone can play a part in this.
That was Markel Sinet reporting. The food bank is holding a groundbreaking for their new location in South Shreveport September 24th. Their goal is to be moved into their new facility next fall. Well, one of the biggest events in Texarkana is back and bigger than ever. Gates are now open for the 75th annual 4 States Fair and Rodeo. This year there's a new Carnival Midway with more rides and, of course, all your fried food favorites. Organizers are expecting more than 100,000 people to attend over the 10-day event.
Come early so you can be sure and get in the parking lot. We do have some additional parking this year available, and so we're looking forward to being able to accommodate those crowds, but just everyone come, be patient. There's plenty of stuff to do for everyone, and we'll get you in.
Fair admission is $7 for adults and $5 for kids. You can find more information at arclatexhomepage.com. Well, coming up, meteorologist Jesse Kelly has your full forecast. Plus, in tonight's Fox Best video, a spooky wedding set on a spooky day. We'll explain next. For tonight's Fox Best video, boys and girls of every age, wouldn't you like to see something strange? 6 Ohio couples walked down the aisle on Friday the 13th in a spooktacular fashion. Halloween weekend season kicked off at Cedar Point, and what better way to celebrate than a zombie-themed wedding? The weddings were hosted together in front of a large crowd of family, friends, and curious spectators. The couples were selected during a contest in which they had to explain why they would be the perfect fit for a zombie-themed wedding. One zombie couple says it was the best way to celebrate their special day.
Absolutely perfect. I mean, it's we were anxious for the week or 2 weeks,
2 weeks
building up, waiting to find out if we won. So
yeah,
and my family was like super stoked.
Yeah,
because my mom's a horror junkie.
We knew we were getting married soon, and we figured it'd be right up our alley. We met when I was in costume.
She was in cosplay,
actually, so we thought it was pretty appropriate and thought it'd be fun.
They will never forget their anniversaries. On top of yesterday being Friday the 13th, it was also a full moon, which is just perfect for a spooky wedding.
Now, your Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Jesse Kelly.
Well, today was a very hot afternoon here in the Shreveport. Today we saw a high of 101 degrees, and that's 1 degree off a record high set in 1939 of 102. And this morning we saw a very muggy low into the upper 70s. Normally, we should be seeing a temperature into the middle 60s, not expecting 60s around here anytime soon. Temperatures are right now still into the 80s and 90s, 87 degrees in Manny, 82 degrees currently up towards Idabel for tonight. We'll see those temperatures falling right back down to the lower 70s, 71 degrees in Natchitoches, 73 degrees here in Shreveport, and 71 degrees in Texarkana. Tomorrow, another hot one, another roasty toasty afternoon. We'll see a temperature of 99 degrees in Shreveport, 97 degrees in Texarkana, 98 degrees in Hope, and also into Magnolia. Radar is very quiet here across Shreveport. We did see a few showers and thunderstorms earlier this afternoon and evening. Those thunderstorms are now falling apart. Although we do have more thunderstorms out into the Gulf of Mexico. That's all associated with an airflow pressure that's near Florida that's working its way off towards the west. More about that in just a second. Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Umberto. Has winds of 50 miles an hour. Moving off towards the north-northwest at 7, has a pressure of 1,005 millibars. It will continue to work its way off towards the north-northwest, moving away from the Bahamas, which is great news. It will continue to strengthen as it makes a right-hand turn back out into the open Atlantic as a Category 2 storm. But once it moves away from the Bahamas, it will be harmless as it just works its way back out into the open Atlantic. Now, we're also watching two other waves into the Atlantic. We'll have this wave here just west of Africa. Now has a 50 to even a 60% chance of development over the next 5 days. Of course, we continue to watch that very carefully as it works its way westward towards the Lesser Antilles. Now, back to the air low pressure that's towards the west of Florida right now. This has about a 30% chance of development. As we can see, this airflow pressure working its way towards the west, towards the coastline of Texas. So we'll be on the south end of this, so not expecting much rain from there, and even the outlook for rain for us over the next couple of days remains very low with the ridge of high pressure in place. Although for tomorrow we will see another hot afternoon, although we could see a shower or two, but most of us should remain rain free for your Sunday. What thunderstorms do develop, they will fall apart by the evening hours, and we'll see the same story for your Monday. Lots of heat and not that much of rain. We'll see daytime highs for your Monday back up middle to even the upper 90s. And again, an isolated shower or two is possible with a light north wind. A light northeast wind. But over the next couple of days, the ridge of high pressure will break down some, which may lead to a slightly better chance of thunderstorms with the sea breeze by the middle part of the work week. But of course, the ridge of high pressure builds right back over the area, shutting down rain chances yet again. So if you're looking for significant rain, not looking all that great. So if you do see rain over the next 7 days, consider yourself very lucky. So until the ridge of high pressure breaks down, we'll continue to see plenty of heat and not that much of rain. Next 7 days shows temperatures into the upper 90s for your Sunday, 97 degrees for Monday, and also for your Tuesday. We do have a 20% chance of seeing a few thunderstorms from Wednesday into Friday. Otherwise, simply hot with lows into the 70s. Jenna, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jesse. Still to come, everyone has something that they're extremely passionate about. Next, we bring you the inspiring story of one high schooler who's not giving up on a game that's changed his life forever.
watching Fox 33 News First at 9.
Tonight in Fox America, a California high school sophomore is back on the football field, not letting a major injury get in the way of the game. Kirsten Mitchell has his inspiring story.
When PJ Kuzmitsky is on the field, he always brings his A game. And his A+ smile.
Always put a smile on your face, you know. There's always a bright side. You always got to chase the bright side.
So much positivity for a 16-year-old who has been through so much the past 2 years. An injury at football practice in 2017 resulted in the amputation of part of his leg.
If there's any chance of me getting back into the sport, I'm going to try and do it.
That dedication brought him to where he is now, back on the field, even scoring a touchdown for the Badgers during his first game.
Touchdown, baby! Yes! I'm pretty sure a lot of those kids thought for a while we're probably never going to play with PJ again. And for him to come back like this and play is just, it's an inspiration.
It's the thing I love most in life. It's what I get the most enjoyment out of. You know, it's what really drives my life in general. And I couldn't stand being able to really sit out and just be able to watch that.
For PJ's mom, Susie,
you don't sign those waivers expecting for your child to lose a limb.
The return to football comes with mixed emotions.
The Badger down on the field.
And nerves.
Looked like a sprained ankle, maybe.
All worth it to see her son follow his dreams.
He is taking it so incredibly well. He doesn't think of it as a handicap. He thinks of it as being normal.
It's really, really slippery, and you see it's all taped up and everything.
As PJ adjusts to a new norm,
it comes off. Sometimes it comes off.
He's looking forward to getting a new athletic prosthetic and continuing his promising wrestling career.
Don't ever stop doing what you love. That's the only thing that's going to get you through it.
That's just amazing. PJ says he also wants to try playing baseball, and he's hoping to continue playing sports while in college. Well, speaking of sports, it's next. Stay with us.
You're watching Fox 33 News First at 9.
Welcome back. The Dallas Cowboys put on a passing clinic in their season opener win over the Giants. But star running back Ezekiel Elliott was limited to just 13 carries for 53 yards. Silver Star Nation insider Mickey Spagnola tells us we might see more of Zeke this week.
The Dallas Cowboys certainly established they can throw the football in that season-opening 35-17 victory over the New York Giants. Dak Prescott throwing for 405 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now it's imperative that the Cowboys demonstrate they can run the football against these Washington Redskins on Sunday. And Ezekiel Elliott is ready to go. He's had 6 practices. He's had 37 snaps in a game, and it looks like no more pitch count for Ezekiel Elliott, and he knows that's the beauty of a balanced offense. Run it and throw it.
Yeah, it's really exciting, you know, to see those guys on the outside gasping like that, because, I mean, now teams are going to have to play us different, you know. They might not be able to put an extra guy into the box, and so, you know, it's going to open things up for the run game. I mean, you watch that film and you see how, you know, everyone who got their hands on the ball went out there and made plays and were explosive. And so, I mean, that's dangerous to a defense.
So the question's going to be for the Washington Redskins on Sunday, what will they choose to stop? Do they want to concentrate on stopping the run or stopping the pass? Either one they do, the Cowboys should have an answer. For the Silver Star Nation, I'm Mickey Spagnola.
Jesse's back with a final look at your weather after the break. Stay tuned.
.33 News First at 9.
All right, here's a look at your wake-up weather tomorrow. We'll see a temperature of 99 degrees, partly cloudy skies, very hot indeed. It's possible that we do see a shower tomorrow, but most of us should remain rain-free. A normal harvest time of year is into the upper 80s. Next 7 days shows plenty of heat, not that much of rain, with lows into the 70s. Jenna?
All right, thanks, Jesse, and thank you for joining us. We leave you with a live look from our Louisiana Tower Cam. Good night.